I wanted to speak about open world theatre. About the desire to welcome people into wonder and to become the characters, the heroes that they used to look up to as children. The world we thought was possible from our beds as our parents showed us these little windows, or as we peered through whatever windows we had access to, encyclopedias, or maybe it was computers, maybe it was stories told by friends, whispered at campsites, however it was, whatever it was, as we looked out, we peered and we knew we were a part of something, part of a future. And the bigger and the more heroic and the more improbable, the more somehow it made sense. And then slowly as we grew, as we acclimatized to the reality of adulthood, to the hardships, to the responsibilities and letdowns, to never measuring up, to the confusion, the deep confusion of adulthood, the frantic anxiety of people trying to stay afloat when our parents and our gods all are looking over their shoulder at the boss above them. We start to get scared. I remember the first time that I could outrun my dad. I hated it. That time when this person who was meant to stand between me and the world couldn't keep up with me anymore. So what I've tried to do is hold on to that. I changed my surname to Child because it was an aspect I never wanted to let go of. I used to watch comedians like Robin Williams in the movie Toys, or characters like Willy Wonka, Peter Pan. And that's what open world theatre is trying to do, is to invite people into the stories of their lives, to retell the character. Like, imagine you got into a book 6 or 7 chapters in and you go, no, this isn't how my character's meant to end up. That's what open world theatre is meant to be a chance for. It's meant to be a chance to rewrite your story, to be bold again, to be naive, to be innocent, to be superhuman, to have more ahead of you than there was behind, regardless of the number of years. Open world theatre is a circus that spills out into the streets and welcomes people out. Imagine a funeral procession and it's for you. Like, what would your life inspire? When people stood around and told that final eulogy, what would be the key signature of your soul? And would your life have written it with a flourish and a flavor and a flair that was uniquely you? Open world theatre is inviting us all out to play. So when our tribe, our family, our community assembles on that cliff top to scatter our ashes out to sea, we would have lived a life worth telling. So join me in rewriting our lives, in creating the characters of ourselves, because we're all playing a character. But let's be bold and brave in the ways that we dress, in the quiet, isolated moments when we're all alone. Let's behave in ways that would be proud if the walls all fell down around us and we knew that everyone, whenever no one was peering in through the windows. And maybe that's how it happens. I don't know quite how time works, how the ascended masters, our ancestors, or our own memory all mix up in the kaleidoscope of knowing. But I want to know that when I've said my final words and it's nothing but my internal dialogue, I want to hear a cheer as I sigh with relief that I honored my childhood inspiration of what the world could be. And to have that world, even if it only ever got to my lips, if my internal world only ever filled me to brimming so people could see it oozing from my pores, if I alone was a representation of an entire universe that did not get beyond my poetry, at least for people that came into contact with my art, to be able to absorb it so succulently that it would sink into them. And on that final day, they would assemble in the streets and they would speak those last words. They didn't have time to breathe. They would paint the pictures I didn't get to ink. They would assemble the playgrounds and encourage strangers in, and they say there once was Atlas. They would tell a tale which maybe I could never have lived. That's open world theatre. It's the improbable. It's brave, it's innocent, it's naive, it's ridiculous, it's wonderful. So next week, I will do all I can to soften even further and welcome you in and welcome myself out. Numerous moments a day when we can interact. Play fighting, character, costume, mask making, word play, freestyle poetry, rewilding, deeper nature. Stillness walks in the city where we meditate openly in public, reinitiate children into these great characters, not from storybooks, but from their environment. Today I went out into the street and I did yoga on the pavement and watched people drive by in their cars, and school buses pull up right in front of me, and kids got out, and I was proud just to be breathing and singing and moving and say, yeah, this does happen in the modern world. So if you feel there's a great character in you and a life worth telling, and if you look at the chapters in your book and say, shit, there's only a few pages left, I thought I'd be further along in my legend by now, please link up with me. I'm going to be doing more and more in person here where I am, and opening up spaces for us to create games without borders. Vicarious is another game where we can live and allow others to live through us. I'm just sitting here late at night and trying to use my time wisely. And I think the wisest is most honestly. So even if we never meet, I hope that something in these words ripples out to you, and someone speaks in words that maybe I've said, but maybe sound more like them, but give you that inkling of essence which says, may your life be the signature of your soul. And whenever we farewell to people, I hope we just really put all the bullshit aside and look them in the eye and just say, fuck yes, thank you for playing. Some days you wake up and you feel like a star. Other days you wake up and don't know who you are. But baby, whether or not you know, you are art, and this life is your show.